this is superficial, your rectus abdominis. It's pretty. But what lies underneath is really important. And I can recite all the names of the muscles, but just let's refer to it as your core. So everything from the front to the back and in between. And it's important that you incorporate exercises that will work all of that. You can still do your crunches if that, suits you and you don't have any neck issues and you haven't had an abdominal tram. But some really basics you may have actually done if you took a yoga class, and you may be familiar with cat-cow or bird dog. Child's pose I use as a stretch afterwards. That's not a core exercise per se. That's a nice balancing exercise. So when you do something that puts your hips in extension and shortens your back muscles, then when you go forward into a child's pose, it stretches those out. So let's go ahead and let me show you those. Now I'm doing this on the floor, which is not ideal, but I don't have my mat with me. Once again, you can go to Target, you can go to Walmart, wherever, and get yourself a yoga mat or something that you can use at home. If you have carpet, then you're set. I like to get a thicker yoga mat, spend the extra $10 because it's going to feel much better on your joints. If anything that I'm showing you bothers your knees, then don't do that. We don't want to aggravate any joints in the process of helping to improve another goal, for example, core exercises. So let's start off, and this is what we're going to call our quadruped or tabletop position. And you want to make sure that your knees are lined up directly underneath your hips and your wrists are lined up underneath your shoulders. Now, I want to just state that if you are recovering from breast cancer surgery, you've had lymph nodes removed, that even putting your weight on the affected limb can be too much to start with. So you want to start and progress slowly. And what I mean by that is, instead of holding something for 30 seconds, just do a 5-second, maybe one cat, one cow, or one set of bird dogs on each side. And give yourself a break in between, because we don't know how much your body can now handle. You are going to end up stronger than ever. However, for right now, as your body is recovering or you're starting anew, it's a new body. We don't know how it is going to respond. Now, for everyone else out there, as long as your wrists and your shoulders are good, there should be no problems with this. You could always hold a dumbbell, if so you're holding it like this, to take the pressure off of a flexed wrist if you have problems there. So I am going to look down here because looking at the camera is not ideal for my neck. So we're going to start off and we're going to arch up into that cat position. You can meow if you want. And then we're going to drop our belly. So you're arching your back, you're looking up. So you inhale and you exhale. Inhale, push up, exhale. And perhaps you like to breathe the opposite direction. It's honestly fine either way, just as long as you're breathing. But feel that nice stretch. Now, if dipping your back down like this puts too much pressure on your low back, then don't go as low. Or just do your cat backs. Okay, but we're trying to get some mobility in the spine. So dropping it down. Move throughout your spine. All right, now this is what I'm talking about going into the child's pose from here. Feels really nice. Reaching those hands forward, dropping your forehead down. And just take this opportunity to breathe. Now I'm going to show you this from a different position because I want you to see an alternative. If you have one hip elevated, very oftentimes it is your quadratus lumborum. I've mentioned this before. This is a great stretch. So we start off as if you're doing the child's pose, but now we shift. You're going to shift your weight to the other side and reach your arms. You can kind of open up your chest. You're going to feel this stretch all through here, and it feels so, so good. Just nice deep breathing. You want to hold this for 20 to 30 seconds. I'll cut it short for the purposes of this video. You could go back to another regular old child's pose, then shift your weight Open up a bit. And then I always like to come back to center and roll up slowly. Fix the hair. All right, and then you can do a little chest stretch, just pulling back, just evening everything out a little bit, because, you know, anytime we're doing something in the front, we want to counter that so we don't have more of an imbalance, especially if you're already protracted, because with the shoulders rounded, you know, you're working at a computer all day. Every time we're doing this position, it's reinforcing that. So let's take a moment and do some isometric shoulder blade contractions, just literally squeezing your shoulder blades together, keeping your head in alignment, just pushing back as if I have a tennis ball between my shoulder blades. Nice and easy. If you want to take that a little step further, you can do your elbows out and relax. But for some of you, this is going to be too much just to hold your arms up. So alternatively, doing this is a bit